I really hope it's not a shock to anybody at this point, but no, I was not watching the Super Bowl. I don't watch it for the game, and I don't even watch it for the ads or the halftime show. But there is a new trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and I don't think I caught too much, but I did catch whiffs of a few things where I'm like, I should check this. I'm not making any promises of doing these kinds of reactions to anything else that was shown there, but I should take a look at this.
Every night, I dream the same dream.
Ooh.
And then,
Ooh.
the
He got
nightmare
ripped for
begins.
this. I don't remember him going shirtless in the first film. I think I would have remembered
I
that.
did what I had to do to protect our world.
You cannot control everything, Strange.
You gonna overstep?
You opened the doorway between universes. We
Okay.
don't know who or what will walk through it.
Already seen you do that, so
Wanda,
yeah.
what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
Yeah, it would be. Is that a Minotaur?
He was right.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished.
The hell?
We should tell him the truth.
But I'm sorry, what?
Things just got out of hand.
I have a hard time taking that seriously.
You
I hope
break
I'm
the
not
rules.
supposed to.
To become a hero.
I keep
I
forgetting
did that
American
become
Chavez.
enemy. That doesn't seem fair.
Punch everything. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So, okay, so let's zero in on the bit that I think was spawning the most free flow of ideas. That sure as hell sounded like Patrick Stewart. And we sure as hell caught a glimpse from behind the head of a bald gentleman. Which, okay. I have had my notions in the past about how to bring the X-Men into the MCU. I never fully expected that it would go down that way. Because, well, I never expect that. I'm not the kind of fan who's like, but my idea was better. Usually not. But I had really kind of hoped that in the broad strokes, they wouldn't use the multiverse as a shortcut for introducing characters. I would have been much more interested to see a more organic growth of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. Instead, things seem to just be getting pulled in from the multiverse, which, I mean, if you're going to have the multiverse, I suppose you might as well use it for something. But especially the idea of bringing in specifically the Fox X-Men. That, look, I know oftentimes fan service is kind of a derogatory term. It doesn't have to be, not automatically. But I can't imagine that there's much reason besides fan service to bring in Patrick Stewart or Hugh Jackman. And the first thing is, if Marvel's going to open this can of worms, they better have signed Hugh Jackman for something. Because if they didn't, then this is going to feel like a massive tease. Not quite on the scale of the nonsense that they pulled with Evan Peters appearing in WandaVision, but in the same vein. Like, you're setting up something that points to a very clear thing. If you bring in Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, that means you've opened the door to that world. What is the one thing everyone is going to want from that? It's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I have a hard time buying that Jackman would sign on for more than one, maybe two appearances. He really did pretty definitively sign off the character with Logan. Now, they roll enough money up to his door. Maybe they can get him for a few more than that. But, I mean, on a more petty level, I kind of wanted a more comic accurate Wolverine in terms of stature. I kind of wanted a short, hairy guy who you look at and like, really? This guy? And then he just mauls you. I kind of wanted that. But the flip side is, if they haven't secured Hugh Jackman and or he's not willing to do it, this is going to bite them in the butt big time, like how the Evan Peters thing did in WandaVision bit them in the butt. Because, like, it still boggles my mind that they didn't realize what was going to happen when they did that in WandaVision. But especially having done it there, they've got no excuse to not realize what's going to happen if they don't deliver on what people are going to want. Setting that aside, my first inclination at that very setup is the Illuminati, which traditionally in the comic books consists of Stephen Strange, Reed Richards, Professor Xavier, I think Black Bolt. There might be one or two others in there. I forget who's in it. I don't love the idea of the Illuminati. I mean, like, it makes some sense. It's not a completely creatively fruitless idea. I don't like it. I mean, I don't find the very concept of the Illuminati, the Marvel version or any version of it, to be very interesting at all. I actually find the chaos much more interesting. The idea that nobody's actually in charge and the world is just, it's just stuff that happens, and that there isn't some grand masters controlling, making the big decisions, because, you know, that's reality. But I always find the idea of, the secret organization behind it all, it feels like a lazy crutch most of the time. But that's my gut instinct on that very appearance there. Now, that having been said, just because it's pulling from an idea that I don't think is very good doesn't mean it won't work. Marvel has done a pretty solid job of pulling ideas that either had some potential or didn't quite work or may not even have been that great in the first place, but doing something much better with them in the movies. Civil War is a fantastic example. Civil War, the comic, is kind of a mess. Civil War, the movie, it's very focused and very good. I mean, Age of Ultron, all they did was pour in that name. That name of that event. The actual movie bore no resemblance story-wise to that. So, you know, pulling in the Illuminati doesn't mean that they're going to have to do the sorts of things the Illuminati did. Partially because the thing that at this point in the comics, I'm pretty sure the Illuminati is most famous for, is shooting Hulk into space. But they already kind of did Planet Hulk with Thor Ragnarok. So they're going to have to come up with something else for the Illuminati to do or be. So who knows what they'll actually do with that. Other than that, visuals are still cool. I'm digging those. Like I said, I forgot that America Chavez, the character, is in this, who's a character who I know of, have not read yet, been meaning to for a while, still want to, but haven't as yet. Might try and do that. before it comes out. Realistically, I won't get to it. You've got till May. You haven't seen my work schedule. I'm not sure I've got too much else to say. Like, it's such a tiny moment to spend so much time on, but it's a tiny moment with big implications. And they know that, otherwise they wouldn't have put it in there. So, yeah. It's funny to me, actually, right now, that between this and the Flash trailers that are coming out, it's like this bizarre mirror universe, because this is effectively doing with Patrick Stewart and Professor X what the Flash trailers are doing with Michael Keaton as Batman. It's just it's battling nostalgia by way of multiverse. These are strange times. Still excited for the movie. It looks interesting. I'm excited to see Mordo back. I want to see what they do with him. I really want to see what Sam Raimi does with this kind of budget again. It's been a while, and I'm down for whatever he's gonna bring me. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Have you seen that trailer? Well, yeah, you did. You saw me react to it. So what are your thoughts? What are your reactions? Whatever they are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe. Patreon, that's how I pay the bills. That's how this is able to be my living, and how I am able to fill up my days with things that aren't reading America Chavez, because I'm buried in other stuff. I do like my work, though. No big pressure on that support, though. I mean, I super appreciate it, and there is the link down in the description, plus all the other stuff I do if you want to see what else I'm doing with my time. But no big pressure on that. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so just come on back next time you need a break. Patreon shout-outs. Thank you to Turok, Shane Ross, Oliver B., Melinda Walters, Robin Powell, Cornobulax, the Poodle, Beetleon, Tracy Scrabbit, Dharma Michael Doyle, Vincent Paul Bartolucci, Angry Caspero, Adam Lefty Taylor, Robin Moore, Shayla Gourlay, and Bookworm. You can support me as well. Hear me mispronounce your name. Sure, I got some of